Hey guys, it's Katie with scrappinkaty.ctmh.com, and I am joining the creative design team to showcase our Craft with Heart scrapbooking subscription. Now, if you are a follower of mine, you know that I love this subscription simply to catch up on some scrapbooking. The layouts are fast and simple and easy to use, and I usually just find a little way to tweak them to make them fit my style. So let's see what I have in store for the June 2020 Craft with Heart layout subscription.
So here is a look at the kit. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the contents of the entire kit. And each month is really the same as far as what you get and all the components. You'll get a fully color illustrated guide that shows you the two layouts that you'll be making. And then out to the side of each layout is the steps or are the steps and then any tips and tricks. Each kit also comes with sticker sheets that are clearly labeled layout 1 and layout 2. And then you also get a die cut sheet. And again, those are clearly labeled which layout they go with. And then there is a solid black line just to separate the two, just in case those colors are similar. You'll also get some photo placeholders. Now you can use these or you can save them. And then you also get pre-printed layout bases, which probably is by far my most favorite aspect of the kits. You can see here, this one has the paint splatter with a little heart. It also has stitching at the top and the bottom. And then the second layout in the June 2020 kit, you can see that beautiful sun ray as well as that oversized heart. You also get any other elements that are needed for the layouts. So we've got a few photo mats, and then each kit also comes with 3 top load memory protectors. And that way you can immediately put those finished layouts in your album of choice. So I've pulled out everything needed for layout 1. I've got 4 3x4 photo placeholders, a 3x3 and a 4x6, as well as all the various mats. Then I'm going to go ahead and start punching out all the die cuts needed for layout 1. Now, if I were going to go ahead and do both of the layouts for this month, I would still only punch out layout 1, complete that layout, and then go back to layout 2, but you can do it however you'd like. So for the layout itself, I'm going to kind of put that fully color illustrated guide over to the left so I can refer to it often and then check what it says to do. I've already pre-punched or punched out the die cuts. And then right here, I've pulled out my photos. It's of a time when my daughter dressed up like a ladybug for Halloween. And I just had some extra photos just of her that I kind of wanted to showcase on a non-Halloween layout, if that makes sense. And I thought that this layout would be perfect. Now, I am going to switch things up just a little bit on this particular layout, and I am going to make this a one-page layout only. Now, the reason being is that even though I have a lot of photos, the majority of the photos are kind of blurry. They did make it into our Halloween album that I've already put those photos in. So I'm just deciding just to kind of condense this memory and put it into a one-page layout. And that will also give me free reign on that other pre-printed layout. I can use it in the future for something else. So what you see me doing here is just taking those photo placeholders and attaching them to the photo mats. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I prefer a white border around my photos. So I just thought I would go ahead and get those adhered down, and then I can start playing with the placement of the photos on this one page. So I'm just going to kind of sort through this, again, keeping in mind that the photos I'm using where the open spaces are, that the additional photo mats can overlap. Now, I have looked at the color illustrated guide, and it does have a little lady up at the top right. So I'm going to try to keep that. And then I really love these pie shapes. I try my hardest to find somewhere to put them, but in the end, I kind of just nixed that idea. So I am going to go ahead and put that photo of my husband and my daughter, mainly to make sure that the other photos aren't going to overlap them that much. Now there is that big open space on the left of my daughter, so I can kind of overlap some either embellishments or a photo there without worrying about it too much. So I am pretty happy with the photos that I'm going to use. So I am going to go ahead and adhere those down, and you can see what I'm talking about. Those photos having a tiny white mat around them as well. This one does need to be trimmed down just a little bit. So I'm going to pull back my tiny photo trimmer and go ahead and get that trimmed. So I am just turning those over to make sure that those are adhered really well. I don't want my fingerprints all over the photos. Now I am going to pull some 3D foam tape and put on the back of these little circles that say lady, just to kind of add some dimension. And like I mentioned in my intro, I love the Craft with Heart subscription, simply just to kind of catch up on scrapbooking. But I also like, if you are a follower of mine, you know my style, and it's really not plain and simple. So I love that I can take what they give me, and then I can add either 3D foam tape. You guys have seen me add thread jumbles. You can add glitter, like shimmer brush. You can add stickles. You can add glitter gems, enamel dots. You can really dress these up with your stash, and it can still be a quick, simple layout, but it can display your style. And I love that I can do that. I love that it's super affordable. At the end of this video, I will show you the price options, and I will leave a link down below so you can go check it out. So right here, again, I'm just kind of adding some additional foam adhesive to the back of that square photo. I definitely want it popped up for some dimension as well as just some focus, and it's the only square photo, so I thought that that would be a nice touch. Now I am going to kind of play with these. I do end up kind of switching them out, and mainly because that paint splatter that had the little heart, I really wanted it to show. It's super adorable. I love paint splatter, number one, but then when you throw a heart in there and you throw my little baby girl on the layout, I just definitely wanted that to show. And I felt that it showed more with this 3-inch square photo than the other one. So I'm just going to pull out my wax paper. This is a wonderful tip that if you ever need to kind of play with sticker placement before you actually commit, you can definitely put those stickers on wax paper, and then you can kind of play with their placement. And then once you're happy with it, you just pull it off the wax paper and attach it to your project. The other thing you could do is use the anti-static pouch to remove the stickiness, and then you could use liquid adhesive or 3D foam tape to adhere it down. So there is a large circle journaling spot. I decided to pull in my paper cutter and kind of cut that. It's not really 3/4, but cut that on my paper trimmer so I can separate the bottom and the top. I really wanted that square photo just a little bit higher, but it is already attached down to my photo, and I was afraid if I tried to pull it off, it would damage the photo. So right here, I'm just pulling off those stickers from the wax paper, going ahead and putting those down where I fell in love with the placement. And then I am going to attach the ladies down with that 3D foam adhesive. Now I am just eyeballing the placement of lady, but you definitely could pull out your T-ruler to make sure it's straight. And then I'm going to play with the placement of this of these little ladybugs, as well as that little green heart. So for the pink ladybug, I am just adding some 3D foam adhesive over to the right side because it is on that photo mat that I added 3D foam tape to. So I didn't need all of it to have 3D foam tape on it. And then I'm just going to add some more 3D foam tape to a couple of other elements. And then I am going to attach the bottom part of that circle. And that is where I'll put the location that we are at. So I'm just going to play with a little bit more. I think that top needed something extra, so I adhered that circle with the heart. And then I definitely wanted to pull in some more greens. You can see here I do not have a triangle of greens, so I was trying to make those flowers work and it just didn't. So then I'm going to pull out those pie shapes that I fell in love with and try to make those work. First, I'm going to kind of play with the placement of the other half circles that were intended for this layout. And I'm still not feeling it. So I am going to then try to make that green come down and then do some other things. So finally I decided to rough up some of the edge. So all I did was tore a line and then roughed the edges and then put that green pie shape down. And then I'm going to do the same to this top right corner. Now this pie shape, which you can't see here, but you can see in the still photos, it has stitching on it as well. And so I loved how the stitching was consistent across the page as well as those pops of that green apple. So this is pretty much done. I can save that other layout for another project, and I am super happy with it. Now again, I am joining the creative design team, so you'll want to check out the other members who are playing along. Here is a look at the different subscription options. I find that there's really an option for every budget. You can click the link down below to check out more details. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. If you liked what you saw, please leave me a thumbs up and a comment. And don't forget to subscribe and sign up for notifications. Also, don't forget to check out my other creative design team sisters and see what they did with the Craft with Heart subscription.